Hello there, Glitch Reaper here. Time for another mob battle, and I don't think the pinkies are going to be a problem this time. Trust me. I'm going to be unleashing the giant kaiju bosses from Lycanites Mobs against each other, and although I'm going to go into a battle royale eventually, I'm going to actually start off with Amalgalich versus Asmodeus, because I really think that it's more of a matchup between those two. I'll also show off Ray of Art versus Asmodeus eventually as well. And of course, seeing Amalgalich versus Ray of Art before the big rampage. I'm not sure if I'm going to do them all immediately after this, but I'm definitely going to do Amalgalich versus Asmodeus now. So that's going to be awesome. So, yeah. If you're not familiar with the Amalgalich, it's the newest boss in Lycanites Mobs, and he's very impressive. In fact, a little bit of quick history here as to why I'm doing this. As of the time I'm doing this, the set for Ikoria Lair Behemoths has recently come out for Magic the Gathering, and I'm also a big Magic the Gathering fan, but I'm also a big fan of Godzilla and kaiju in general, and they're doing like this whole crossover with classic kaiju, including Godzilla. And the interesting tie-in here is the Amalgalich is actually based off of Red, and Red was originally a Godzilla creepypasta. Yeah, so that has a direct tie-in, so I had to do a tribute on the day. So, because it's probably going to take a while, I will unleash them now. Let me see, first finding off. Yeah, pinkies don't go away on peaceful, so I just had to clear out other demons and stuff. And well, it looks like he'll be taking care of the pigment for me, or dying himself, one of the two, or both. Well, a bit of both. Anyhow, yeah, the thing is, if you got Lycanites mobs and you're somehow above the bedrock, uh, mobs will in fact spawn in, especially the ones that normally spawn in the nether from Lycanites mobs, so that's the thing. Okay, now it's time to unleash Red, I mean the Amalgalich, ha ha ha, and also Asmodeus. So, let's take a look at Red here. He's enormous. He represents the undead group. He's its big boss. And whenever Lycanite goes with big boss, he really, really means it. So, kaiju level undead. And now we have Asmodeus, who's been regrouped as an aberration. And they immediately win on each other because they're both very aggressive. At least I think Asmodeus is... I don't think he's stuck in... Nope, he's not stuck in a wall. He's being attacked. As such, he'll start eventually firing off with his cannons. Although, it seems to be a slight pause in the action. What's up? Do I need to bring in Ray of Art to motivate you two into the Battle Royale already? Well, I have this, but I'm not sure it works. When it comes to Lycanite, never mind. You'll be irritated now. Of course, he has a few tricks that seriously damages things. Red has this giant... Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it. The massive inhaling attack. Where inhales everything and then drains their life force. I mean, he is the Amalgalich. And maybe Red was always the Amalgalich. Maybe this was just his destiny. Come Red, the Amalgalich. The amalgamation of all forms of lichdom. I mean, that's how Amalgalich got the name there, so... And now you get it. He's the ultimate lich. A kaiju level lich of awesome nature. And you can see that Asmodeus has a huge chunk of his health already taken off. Although Red seems to do it, again, Red the Amalgalich, seems to do it mainly in spurts. Because he was attacking him for a while, pretty heavily, but now he seems to mainly be doing it whenever he's doing his massive suction attack. Which he's again repeating right on cue. And of course for Red getting damaged, it's mostly up to Asmodeus doing either that, or if he can aim his cannon over here. Dude, you have a machine gun. Use it. I mean, it's a full Gatling, dude. Why won't you Gatling this guy? You were before in testing. To see if they... always test out to see if they can damage each other, or if they'd fight. In this case, the AI won't actually retarget with the staff. I've said that before, but it doesn't need to because they're both very aggressive towards each other, or at least very aggressive in general. I mean, just the fact that Asmodeus does an automatic shooting thing periodically will definitely keep Red's attention here. I'm just gonna call him Red for this because, for one thing, he is red, and for another thing, he's red. Like, seriously, this is red. So the Amalgalich is red. He also seems to have a very, very high armor against magic, might I add. And, like, projectile damage and stuff. Or at least I think he does. Because he resists that attack so hard. And whenever he devours, he also replenishes his health. Although what's weird is I don't think I've actually seen the classic green numbers that's normally shown when healing with this. So I'm wondering exactly how that works. Like, is it in a way that doesn't technically count as healing? And oh, because funny fact, Asmodeus also counts a bit like a block and a mob at the same time, so you can do like this Trite has and stand on his head. So a Trite seems to have settled in for no particular reason. I'm gonna just knock you off here with Wind Spike. I thought I could hit him. Is the hitbox keeping... Oh, it's just a delay. I sent him flying over there. This thing has a lot of knockback. Yeah. Wind Spike's a pretty interesting design, so I just wanted to have that perspective for a while because, I mean, there was a Trite on his head. It's obviously something to investigate. Asmodeus is getting very far down in health already because he's nearly down by 1,000 points, or a quarter of his health, and or at least he will be soon. Every time he damages Red, Red will always seem to keep up by using his inhalation attack. He just does the giant vacuum strike. It just inhales them like Kirby. He's going, okay, they're all gone, bye. So he pulls a massive Kirby. Just very funny to think of here. He seems to be a bit lazy on the attack, though. Right now, anyhow. He'd be a little more vigorous against an actual player. Like, a lot more vigorous. He's still got some minions coming in, and he's still periodically doing the big attack, so as long as that happens, then everything's pretty much fine. Weird lag spike. Speaking of which, here he goes again. When he flattens in like that, it also makes it easier for Asmodeus to hit him. He also clears out a lot of minions. This is pretty important because of fighting Asmodeus. There's a trick Asmodeus does, eventually, where he shields himself, using a couple of very particularly stout minions. And until they're taken out, he can't take damage. So, because the Amalgalich Red here can actually inhale them, he can get rid of that problem. So, Yancy can just keep on going. This does seem to be somewhat one way, because this guy's special healing ability but still, an impressive way of just showing off the Amalgalich. I am wondering if he can take down certain, let's say, other large creatures. That are otherwise usually fairly invulnerable. So it would be interesting. Unstoppable darn lips. Unstoppable force meets immovable object. Oh, that Wraith actually self-destructed on him. He actually took a hit from that Wraith. It's not really doing much to him, apparently. He's like, nah, I'm good. But again, I can't seem to get the AI to target. I can try again. Let's see if I could finally get it to work, but I doubt it. Because yeah, it'll keep registering that it has the first entity set. So I'm not sure if they finally just... Did I get that for the Wither Skeleton skill? I thought that was supposed to be spooky, scary skeleton. Maybe that whole time Asmodeus wasn't really into it. And maybe I finally got it to work even though the message was wrong? Because this whole time I've been thinking that message meant that I wasn't actually getting them to target each other properly. But now he's using that debuff Gatling. Even though the Amalgalich has, aka Red, has a ton of health as well. Still going, and is very resistant to all those shots. At least now he's getting chipped away a bit more. But, let's see how far he recovers whenever he does this move. Pretty heavy, and it seems to take him a little while to digest after he does it, so it's not exactly an immediate full heal. Or even an immediate heal. I think he does it according to the health of the creatures he consumes. But I'm not entirely sure. Did you see that? Oh, that zombie pig, that zombie pig man, aka zombified piglin now, just got stepped on by Red and just instantly died. Well, was destroyed due to undeath state, so you know what I mean. Now, Asmodeus, he can die. He's an aberration. Therefore, living creature. Amalgalich, Red here, undead, so he'll be destroyed. There are certain terminologies about terminating something, although you can say terminate in general. And yes, he's unleashing Shadow Fire at Asmodeus at point-blank range. And doing the thing. You can hear that sound. It's a very deep inhale. And yeah, Asmodeus is just taking an absolute beating. He's under 2,500. He's been under 3,000 for a while, so he's lost more than a quarter of his health. And the Amalgalich just keeps on going. Again, he does take damage, but then he has very high regen whenever he does the suction move. Although, it's not exactly regen in the normal way. It's more like health drain, or vitality drain. It is weird that that can work on undead. You just replenish his health based on his enemies, apparently. It's more like they're just being consumed in general. He just eats everything. Although apparently he can't just one-shot a boss. It does, however, do damage in proximity, though. He's doing it again, speaking of which. While he's getting Danmaku pummeled by Asmodeus. Oh, here we go. Asmodeus is... And that was instantly ended. Okay. Asmodeus is in phase 2. So here comes my question. Can the Amalgalich take him down? He'll have to get past not only this phase, but a third phase where he directly recovers using the health of those Astaroths. Oh, the extra large one you saw for like a moment was just eradicated. But as long as Red can actually take care of his Asmodeus' minions, then he can keep fighting them. So far, he hasn't resummoned his shield guys. Heh, didn't really do him much good when he had them. Speaking of which, he's got them there. He's trying to get shielded. They're behind him. They're behind him, and I don't think Red knows how to flank an enemy. It could actually be a monumental draw with this defense tactic. even though he clearly had Asmodeus, the darn lips, although he clearly had Asmodeus heavily down, eventually it came to a point where he couldn't reach them. Apparently they don't roam around very much either. Because this one's just kind of dancing over here. Yeah, it's just kind of dancing in place. It's not really advancing. I guess they don't really see Red as an actual target. They're just hanging out, helping their overlord. But yeah, this is his ultimate defense. He can't take damage whenever he's like this. Even when the Amalgalich is going all out. Oh, I think he took him down. Or did they actually stop for a little while? I don't know if they could take a break. Maybe they did, or maybe he literally sucked their shield-creating orbs and just kept them from actually reaching Asmodeus. That would be an interesting twist. Now the Amalgalich is taking heavy damage again. I definitely want to test this guy with other kaiju-sized creatures. There are actually a pretty good number of kaiju-sized creatures after the combat update. So don't think that you're out of kaiju just because you're past 1.7.10. Don't always just think of the Godzilla mod. Because these guys are huge. Well, beyond huge. Like, past colossal. They're definitely kaiju. Okay, who's walking is that sound? Or is that something else? Red's getting shot, but he just doesn't care. he doesn't care at all. It's like, I'm getting gatlinged. Meh. He's like, seriously, he's so nonchalant about it. It's like, are you trying to tickle me with that little gun of yours? Asmodeus is like, dude, it's insane. I think he did take down one of these guys. So I think if you eliminate one, might see it from here. I think if you eliminate one, then it takes down the shield temporarily. And take out both and takes it out for longer because he'll have to fully respawn them. Okay, he's dropped his shield for a moment. He's got it back on. I think he's been able to maintain his HP since he's gotten a little bit of groundwork, because he's blocking his shield emitting minion so that he can maintain his shield. Of course, he periodically puts it down to go full Gatling. And Red is recovering now. He's had his meal. The thing is, because they have such huge hitboxes, it kind of exerts an outward pressure. And this kind of keeps them from directly contacting each other unless they've been spawned in really, really close, like I kind of did before. So, there's that. That means it's more at range. Although, Red has range, he's just not using it right now. Like, dude, what happened to your whole shadow fire thing? Do I need to somehow remind you to shoot? Oh, whenever you're doing that, I'll just go ahead and let you. Now, if he just turn and face the right way when doing that, he might be able to pull that other guy around. But that is a full heal. There we go. Okay, so I did kind of need to remind him periodically. I guess it's because he also simultaneously uses undead AI. And that's usually that unless they've been attacked within a few seconds, they usually don't strike back. But That's just an estimate, because he's pretty dangerous anyhow. Okay, he's using a special suction attack. Will he be able to reach? He's not able to reach the Astaroth from here. He hasn't been able to deal him much of any damage since the shield's been going up regularly. So I think they're kind of at a standstill. Of course, part of it is because Asmodeus, I don't even think, can walk backward right now, because he's kind of up against the side of the arena, so he's a little stuck that way. So even if he could do that to press his minion out of the way and back into the open firing range, as it were, I don't think it would really work out very easily. Up, Red's doing the thing again. But yeah, this is just like the perfect position. Should I advance it a bit? Because he had the opportunity to hit him. But at least I think so. I mean, maybe it's just not rendering all the time? Oh, only one way to know. Push this guy out, where he can actually be sucked up by Red. That's a huge guy. Okay, let's give him the opportunity, at least. Then see if he can actually damage him by the time that his shield's back up. Up, as soon as that one went out, he upped his shield. Okay, where are they? His shield's down, and he doesn't have any Astaroths doing it yet, maybe. Okay, I don't think that's a residual shield. It's got to be coming from somewhere. Maybe he's getting him from underneath. Oh, that would be very bad in survival if you had to deal with that. Where he just got the perfect position where they could never really be reached by the player. Or, well, they can. You can actually mine these blocks. The question is, where is that coming from? Because admittedly, there is some area underneath. Maybe I should check. Did I accidentally position him in a way that he could actually be technically having a minion stuck in a cave? Well, we already have the case of the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. But so far, that's kind of what's happening here already. So, this also shows that Red respects invulnerability. And officially, Asmodeus' health is at the same point that it was for a while. Can I even hit him? It's using the trite. That would be kind of funny if he's using a trite rather than an Astaroth, but I don't think so. None of that's even hitting though. Is he having like is this a? I don't think this is a bug. He's taking hits before. Can I hit him? I don't think I can. Because he's invulnerable right now. And there's, like, no source I can find. He's, like, permanently invulnerable. So, I think we have a very unique tie. But this, again, could be due to a bug, so I might have to test this later. And see if there's anything that's causing this. Now, where was those caves? Because there was some around here that I'd stumbled into. Or rather, that I kind of made this place back over. So far, I can't find them. So, if there isn't, oh, it's outside the arena. That's where it went. That's where it went. Apparently, if they don't have direct line of effect, the whole thing doesn't render. So they were out of bounds. He had summoned them out of bounds. That's what's going on here. Although Asmodeus apparently has recovered all the way to phase 1 somehow. I'm not sure how that's even possible. I thought he was on phase 2. Did he recover health because I moved? Or did something else recover him? I'm not sure. Yeah, I was just trying to see if he could hit before he summoned more minions. Apparently the answer is inconclusive because apparently Asmodeus healed. Now, there is a stage that he heals, but it's usually below the shield stage. That's what's got me wondering what's going on. Undead reminder. Now, if he dips below phase 2, will Red be able to keep up with him with maybe a slight assist? I don't know if the situation would be much different if it was completely open ground, because of the way that the Astros spawn in sometimes. Again, I'm looking for them to see if at least they're in a valid location. Or at least with what I'm considering a valid location. So far, the answer is maybe. Probably won't be too far from them. But I'm not so sure about that either. Because he already summoned them outside the area and they worked. Of course, I inadvertently made a cave for him to put them in a little while ago, so I've got to be a little concerned about that, especially now that I know that they do, in fact, allow their effect to go through walls. It just doesn't render in that case. So then you don't even know where the balls are coming from. Because you got to be able to see those magic orbs. Did I accidentally get it to where they could spawn in here? Nope, that's not where they are, so maybe his shield is just popping up periodically due to a bug or something, where it doesn't actually need an Astaroth. Because otherwise, well, right now his shield is down. I'm not sure if maybe they were just underneath Asmodeus and I didn't see him, because again, they're kaiju size, so Asmodeus himself is huge, and of course the Amalgalich is enormous as well. So hence the whole thing going on here. Oh, that poor gas. She is not in a good flight zone. Uh, yeah, he must have been healing up during that stage. Maybe maybe he does heal during that stage as well, but just not all the time. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But yeah, apparently this is one of those things that naturally would go on forever. So I think I can declare this a bit of a tie for now. That these two are equally matched. So we and might I add, a new thing has happened where Ray of Art doesn't necessarily destroy these two with his wave. Uh, so apparently he's made it where his own other bosses are invulnerable to it. Because I did originally tell him how Ray of Art would actually take out Asmodeus with that wave. So he's going, that doesn't make sense because they're allies, so maybe I'll change that. Well, apparently he did by this update. There's phase 2. There's phase 2. Now, can I see any of them? Because because of the number of demons around here for him to lunch on, or at least snack on, apparently he's not going down anytime soon. And again, I count this as out of bounds, so sorry. I count that as out of bounds. It's like, no outside the arena. You can spawn in as many of them as you'd like, but they have to be inside. Nobody outside the borders. Made these borders for a reason. This is officially the arena. Everything else is out of bounds. That was kind of cool. It's almost like you shot the fire. That's another feature from Lycanites Mobs that's kind of legit since then, although not necessarily because of any collaboration. It's just kind of a bit of a coincidence that now we have differently colored fires than the original. Just trying to look for where the cave is, because I'm suspicious that some of them are in the cave. At least that's kind of my theory. Debugging this fight is interesting in and of itself. Now, where was that spot that I settled down on? They have such thumpy steps. They're feeling very stompy. Okay, he's at 2388. So if I see him any higher than that, I know he's recovering. And that therefore this can literally go on forever. No Astros here? No Astros? I am also wondering if maybe his coding is a bit different against other bosses, like maybe against Amalgalich specifically, he puts up his shield more. And can do it in phase 2 even when he doesn't actually have Astros to power him up. That could be it. I was thinking maybe that whole suction thing would just take care of the problem indefinitely, but the answer is no. Because again, he might have a little extra trick up his sleeve. So, yeah. Okay. If it's not going to go past this point, I'm going to have to just kind of conclude it here. We officially have a bit of a tie at this point. And I'm wondering if maybe he's also counting the trite. I don't think so. it could be that his properties are stuck inside Red. That would be interesting if he was in fact powering it up just because he ate the Astaroth. There's an interesting theory. No way to really prove it, but yeah, it would just be kind of a funny little Easter egg lore if that was the thing. But as we can see, this fight is now officially at a standoff. Like, this has officially become a draw. Red was able to get the initial upper hand, but eventually Asmodeus is just like, nah, denied. I have shields, brah. So he's like, yeah. I just forgot to use them earlier on, but I'm good. So, I think this is how I'm going to have to call it, that Red's got an edge, because for one thing he does deal more final damage count to him. But between their special defenses, they wind up being a big honkin' tie. So, yeah. And I have no idea where this shield is coming from if there's no Astaroth anywhere nearby. So this could be a bug, but it does illustrate the point of unstoppable force meeting immovable object. So I think I'm going to have to conclude there. Okay. So this has been Glitch Reaper. I'll be logging off with this monumental tie. Hope to hear from you all later. Bye for now, and remember there will be more mob battles.